Hi, welcome back. And today we are starting a new chapter that is the web development. The web development is very important in today's business and technology landscape. Whatever you do, you need some kind of website to handle that. Like if you are an entrepreneur and trying to build a new business, a new technology, anything new, you need to expose it to the outside world to for evaluation and also for getting feedback and also to market it. All these purposes requires a very important website. Now, the web development in the early 2000s or even the middle of the 2010s were little different from what we require right now. Since past decade or so, there's been an evolution of a lot of devices. For example, the smartphones, tablets, and so on. Of course, we have the desktop and laptop computers. But the challenge here is to display your website on different screens with different resolution so that you can reach to your end customer in a very simple way, in a very responsive way. In this module, we are going to discuss the web development, the basics of the web development, mainly the creating and publishing the online content. As in case of the previous weeks, we start with an interview simulation. Be ready for that. A website is a compilation of web pages and related materials which is accessible through a single domain name and is open to the public. My question is to you, what are some features of a well-planned or easy to use website? What I want you to think about, what are your thoughts about the best practices of a simple website that will reach to the end user and they should be able to use that. You can think about, you can think in the direction of accessibility and usability. We will discuss it later, but your website needs to be accessible. The website needs to be usable. You can think in that direction, and then also you can think about how do you present the products, the concepts simply through the website. You know, it is a little different from writing a book, publishing a peer-reviewed paper in a peer-reviewed journal, a paper in a peer-reviewed journal, or even write an article, or even publish something on the newspaper. It's a little bit different than that. But then you know, the website serves all purposes. Today, all the leading journals, all the newspapers, everything, they have a web exposure, and that makes them very easily accessible, and people can use those articles, those materials, those contents every day. For example, when you study something, then you typically use some online content. Maybe this is your online textbook. Online textbook is little different from just a PDF file. I mean, if you go to the online textbook sites, you will find that there has been a lot of improvements in the directions recently. You can you can have a lot of dynamic contents. on that online textbook sites. You can have it narrated by some voice, or you can even browse it across different chapters by just clicking some URL. So there has been a revolution in the web. Our objectives in these modules, however, are identifying the steps to plan a new website. We will discuss the tools for developing a website, explain how to use HTML to add contents to a web page. We will explain how to use CSS, cascaded style sheet, to format contents on a web page. We will describe web security techniques. We will identify steps for publishing a website. And then finally, we will describe how to create an accessible website. Let's talk about planning a website. A website that effectively communicates, educates, entertains, or provides a venue for conducting business transactions requires a really good web design. As I said before, in order to make the design accessible to all devices, we should apply responsive web design so that the website's content adapts appropriately to the size and orientation of the display on any device. Once a website is published online, you can use analytics tools to monitor visitor behavior on the website. Have you ever thought about publishing some videos on the YouTube? If not, then I request you to do one of those. I'm talking about YouTube. It's not website in the traditional sense, but you will find lot of similar context if you want to publish your video on YouTube. Just by publishing the video, you will not make it public. You can make it private and you can use it for your own purposes to see, to study all those features. For example, you can you can publish a video and then the YouTube will lead you through multiple steps to make sure that your video is satisfying all the accessibility requirements. One of them should be to generate the subtitle or generate the captions. But in website, things are a little different. But for example, when you publish an image on the website, there can be audiences that are blind and they use some special tool to navigate, to learn and navigate through the web. So when you publish an image, it is always recommended to put together an alternative text to make your audience understand what is this image about, a more realistic description of the image. That's one of the accessibility features. I mean, there will be more. If you look at the Facebook page, for example, you will see that there is an excessive blue color there. The blue color in Facebook is used to make sure that the audiences that has color blindness, they are sensitive to the blue color. They can recognize the 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 shades of the blue, so they can access those pages on this Facebook. Now the analytics tools are important for marketing purposes and for understanding how good your design is. For example, if you publish a video on YouTube, again, it's a different example, but almost the same context. The YouTube, for example, they provide you some analytics tool that will show you how many audiences are listening to your video, watching your video, what's the average time they spend on each of the videos, and so on. So website has the similar tool, but not like listening, things like that. I mean, they are not listening to any website, but they visit the website. So you can easily find how many number of views you got on your website. Now, when you market your website, one of the important thing is how do you make it searchable, easily searchable or easily discoverable. So you have to you have to be aware of searchability and see, and you can measure how successful you are in making your site searchable or discoverable by looking at the visits to the site. There are other contexts as well. A website plan or web design plan determines the purpose, audience, content structure, navigation system, visual design, and publishing, of course, and the maintenance strategy. When you develop a website, it is recommended that you create documents for those plans. You write down what are the plans and how do you learn the plans. There are a lot of resources across the web to understand, a lot of good resources across the web to know that. And you know, I mean, simple books on web design can help you in that purpose. The good thing is that with advent of electronic publishing technology, almost everything, all the books are now available over internet, so you don't have to wait for the physical copy to arrive to you, and also you don't have to store the physical copy, maintain the physical copy, and carry it around. It can be just added to your profile through the publisher's website. For example, if I buy a book from Amazon and if I subscribe to Kindle, that book can be stored into the Kindle, and whenever I want to read it, I can read it from there. Now, uh, the in respect to the website design plan, the goals are the results you want your website to accomplish within a specific time period. Now the goals needs to be smart goal. You know the smart. You already. I hope that you already learned it in the middle school to high school and somewhere. I mean everywhere we talk about the smart goal. So those goals needs to be smart goals. But here we say that we need to understand what we need to accomplish through that website within a specified time frame. The goals may include the sales, number of visitors, or social media interactions. Objectives are those methods you will use to accomplish the website's goals. A formal written proposed statement summarizes your website's goals and objectives to ensure they meet the audience's expectations and needs. Now, there is another buzzword, call to action. CTA is a suggestion or offer that requires the website visitor to interact with the website by purchasing a product, following the company's social media account, making a donation, sharing or commenting on an article, requesting for an appointment, signing up for an account, registering for an event. So those are all call to actions. An example, this is a website, Kiva website, that includes a CTA to give microloans, the call to action to give the microloan. So you can see um, you have, I mean, a lot of information there. It says with Kiva you can lend as little as $25 and make a big change in someone's life and find a borrower. You can find a borrower. So it's a private loan you are um, going to give. So all these important things, I mean, this is one of the example of the CTA for the website. A target audience profile is a research-based overview that includes information about potential website visitors, demographic, and psychographic characteristics. So the demographic characteristics include gender, age group, educational level, income, location, other characteristics that define on your website visitors. Psychographic characteristics include social group affiliations, lifestyle choices, purchasing preferences, and political affiliations. Target audience profile is crucial when making decisions regarding the UI, user interface, and user experience. You do not want to offend someone who is your target audience by creating some kind of web UI which is not appropriate for them. I mean, maybe there are populations. Let us say I am targeting some older population, senior population, but then if I keep populating my website with a lot of games that teens used to play, then that will not be appealing to them. I am targeting, for example, I'm targeting some religious organizations, religious people, and then I'm not displaying any relevant information there, just the pointless information on the website. Then that will not make any sense. I want to, for example, another example, I want to attract uh, ed, some students to my website. But then there is no study material, no discussion about students, no discussion about studies, anything, and there is no specific information about what level of students this website will be helpful for, etc., etc. If you don't put it, then there is no point in those websites. So you have to be careful in building your UI and UX so that you can market it properly. The website's content will consist of multiple web pages, including a combination of text, images, audio, video, animations, multimedia elements, and so on. The home page is the main web page around which a website is created that opens every time you start a browser, and that is the anchor for the entire website. The subsidiary pages provide detailed content and interest. Some websites also have a landing page, which is the page that a browser navigates to where you click a link in an ad, email message, or other online promotion from a different website. As an example, you can see this East Los Angeles College, a leading community college in the Los Angeles area, their website. What is your feeling once you visit this website? Well, there is a theme, of course. It's a green. It's good. I mean, going green is a great thing, so it will motivate you think green way. Now you can see that this website, just looking at this website, you can immediately identify that it is a website for an educational organization because you see there admissions. So you are trying to see some information about the college, the colleges and their information. You see the financial aid and tuition. So these are very important if you want, if you are uh, if you are studying in a college. Then you find the academics. These are extremely important because That's all they do, right? I mean, all the academic stuff. Then you have the students, I mean, they are the main user of this website. So you can see the student services. What are the student services they offer? And you see there a very enriched student services are there. Campus life, you can see how the students spend time in the campus. And you know, there you find a very nice representation of, I mean, the picture, the visual representation, where you can see a building, the college building behind you, and two students are sitting there, and there is a pet. And the pet is also wearing the same color of scarf as the East Los Angeles College. So that's basically brings you with some family tie or some larger view. It appeals to the students that, well, I have a, what does a student do? Like a student, typical teenager student. I'm not talking about the senior student, but they are also having families, and you know the pets are non-separable part of our families. So they did a beautiful work. I mean, the web developers have done a great job in adding the pet into this picture, and you can see there immediately there are dates. I mean, what are the dates and deadlines, the events? You can see the, I mean, all the information there. If you scroll down, you have the career. I mean, for a student, career is extremely important. So you see that information here, and so on. I mean, you can see view all programs, you see the student services, the detailed descriptions, the student experiences, how the students have how do they feel about this institution. You can see some, they have interviewed someone, they published the remarks from someone who has um, who has been transferred to the great, I mean, like transferred to the university, like University of California, Los Angeles is a very prestigious organization, good school. And then you can see the facts and figures, the some analytics. I mean, it's for you, it's for any audience. You can see the analytics, and you can see some featured news here, and then finally you can see some navigational links here. You see here the follow us. I mean, these are uh, the suggestions, how you can how we can follow this institution. And then also there is a pop-up regarding, may I help you, like some chat box, so you can get some information there quickly. So it's a complete website, and this is an example of a great website uh, that will attract typical audience through its, I mean, through its visual as well as informational appeals, the color schemes, everything is very appealing. So this is what I was talking about. Like you have to find your audience, you have to send appropriate message to your audience, targeted audience, and also you need to have a very attractive, engaging site to keep your audiences coming back to your website. Then you have seen that there is a landing page. The one I opened was a landing page for East Los Angeles College, and from there you will see a lot of navigational links and you can go there. So every time you type elac.edu, you will be landed in that page. So the value added content is information that is relevant, informative, timely, accurate, and high quality and usable. So everything was present in ELAC website. Dynamically generated content, unlike static information, updates periodically and can appear on websites pages when triggered by a specific event, such as the time of day or by visitors' request. So those are the important thing. I mean, some contents may be dynamic, like the list of events. Uh, you see some list today, something happened today, and tomorrow you won't see that events to be happening. It already happened. It's a past event. So there is a dynamicity. It goes on with the life. Search engine optimization is an important tool to develop the website. It refers to tools to allow search engines to better find and index your website. The goal of search engine optimization is to design a web page in order to increase the likelihood that the web page will appear high in a search engine search results list. Content related search engine optimization tools includes the meta tags, descriptive page titles, relevant inbound links from other websites, and clearly written text. Again, I'm referring to post a video posting a video on YouTube site, you will find all this information, although different context, but the larger context is the same. Like after you publish a video, YouTube will ask you to put a tag for that. So the tags will be are like the indexes, like people will be people do some search. If that matches with the tag word, then there is a very high likelihood that your page will be included in the search engine. I mean, included in the search, specific search. The meta tags are HTML specification tags that tell search engines what data to use. A website structure is the linked arrangement of pages. The website structure should support the website's purpose and make it easy for visitors to find what they really want at the website in as few clicks as possible. In summary, an outline of a website structure can be used as a blueprint and illustrate how visitors can follow links from page to page. In order to plan a website, you can create a storyboard. A storyboard is a series of pages originally developed to present scenes graphically for a movie or television program. Now, for all project management, we use a storyboard. Especially today, these days, the agile project management is a very relevant area of professional working. When a company or organization pursues some projects, they follow some methodology so that they can plan the work and then they can work the plan. Two things: planning for the work and working on the plan. So there are two things: agile methodology, which is basically uh, dependent on responding to the changes and is a continuous evolution of the work. It's not just like you decide that I will do five things today for the next 1 year, because the global information landscape is already always changing. I mean, there are preferences uh, in the organizations, they may change. The economic landscape changes, the preference of audiences changes. There is some huge event happen in between the year and your perspective completely changes. So all this is possible. So that's why you need to plan a storyboard. So you can just move across the storyboard and you see, you can reflect all those changes that we are planning. So you can see the home page. I mean, the storyboard, you create a home page for your website. You write this structure for the home page, and then you have the catalog page. So this is the catalog page, the navigation, you go there, and then you have the apparel page. I mean, all those information like here, you go there. So it's like a linked information. Now, it may be so that people are more become people became more interested in certain things, and then you have to accommodate in that storyboard. So storyboard will present you with a clear picture of what's being planned. So on the storyboard, you can superimpose changes in a timely manner to make your project more successful. A flowchart is a diagram that shows steps or processes and is used to determine the paths which user will take to find subsidiary pages. So the navigational link or the flowchart, this is very important when you plan for a website. A website navigation system consists of different types of links like text links, hidden links, image links, related link groups presented as menus, bars or tabs, and breadcrumb trails. A typical breadcrumb trail is shown here. For example, if you have a shopping website, if you have one, then the typical breadcrumb trail will show you the events. I mean, whatever you are doing with the website. So you have a shopping cart. So you start with the shopping cart, then you click on buying the things, then you go to forward it to the billing, and once you pay and the website determines the system determines that you have paid it, then it will start the shipping. uh, Sorry, it's a little different. So you start with the cart, then you see the prices, the billing, then you choose the shipping. It may be there may be added charges on the billing, and then you will have the payment portal, and then you pay for it. So that can be a breadcrumb trail for a shopping cart. A text link should clearly identify its target, which is the web page or contents to which the link points. An image link assigns a link to a visual element such as an illustration or a photograph. For example, I have opened the website for NetBeans. This is a software that allows you to create some development projects using different languages like PHP or simple HTML. I mean, if you want to do some website development using HTML, CSS, it can be used. So you can see here that you have the links here, like for example, download. So once you click the download, it will it will lead you to the download links, and once you click this link, it will be a specific file that will be downloaded. So you can see here, we suggest the following location for you to download, so it will initiate the downloading process, and you will find some file to be downloaded on your machine. So you can see that I by mistake I downloaded it twice, but you see that download has started. So this is the way the contents can be managed. Navigation areas can group links in menus, bars, tabs, or a combination of techniques. A navigation menu is a list of related links. A navigation bar generally uses graphic buttons to present the links. A website search feature is another popular navigation tool for websites with multiple pages. A hosted website search provider is a third-party company that uses spiders or other tools to build a searchable index of your website's pages and then hosts the index on their servers. So here you can see the Cengage, your educational provider. It's a great website for finding the educational resources, your books. So you can books, etc. So you can see that this page is very engaging. You have the uh, search box, and you have other navigational areas listed here. In order to promote uniformity and maintain the brand identity across pages at your website, you can use visual consistency when choosing color and typeface. Apply same color scheme to the background and navigation and other visual elements and text for all web pages to build visual consistency throughout your website. Choose background and text colors that provide sufficient contrast to enhance the readability. Giving you some example. Again, we are visiting the East Los Angeles College elac.edu page, and let's say I'm a student. I'm looking around this page, and I'm clicking the admission. I am interested to be admitted. Let's say I want to see, uh, let's say, student outreach and recruitment. So once go there, you can see the same theme. The green theme is there, different colors. I mean, of course, the real world is colorful, so you have the real picture presented here. But you can see the theme is the same, the font is the same, so you will feel at home, right? I mean, at home with this page. Let's say if you go to financial aid and tuition, so you go to the financial aid page and you can see that the same theme, the green theme, it's present everywhere. Now for a change, let's go to another college within the Los Angeles Community College District, West Los Angeles College, and you see that it is completely blue. The theme is based on blue, and let's say we click on the admission and we go to the admission and records, and we are directed to a page which is themed blue and the fonts are similar. So this is something you need to consider when you develop your own website. A complete web design plan includes details that outlines how and when you will test the website, how will you publish the website, where will you host it, and necessary measures to maintain and update the website. So you will see, I mean, once you develop it, it's still on your sandbox or on your device. Then you can test the website. You can install a web server, deploy that website and test it. Then the scheme is how will you publish the websites, the way to publish, where will you host it. For example, there are multiple web hosting platforms. Uh, Depending on your scales, maybe you will choose a cloud provider. You want to host it on AWS, Amazon Web Service, or GCP. I mean, that's something dependent on your considerations of how much scalability you want, how much traffic you are expecting, what's the budget, all those things. Now, without testing, you cannot determine if your website will work properly or not. If it contains errors or broken links, so you have to test thoroughly. Every link, everything needs to be tested before you roll it out. A formal website usability test is an evaluation that generally takes place in a structured environment such as testing lab. An informal usability test involves using a team of friends, family members, co-workers, or other interested parties to test the website's navigation system or other website features, then report on their experiences. Sometimes, as a when we work for an organization, we may include the clients, and we can design a platform, an environment called user acceptability test, UAT. So there we lay out our website for that client particularly, and then we can choose a set of clients and point them to the UAT and ask them their feedback. If they are the major users of your product or I mean online product, they will be happy to do it. For example, if you are working for a healthcare, let's say healthcare technology platform, then you have a lot of hospitals that are your client. Now, one of the ways they can access your information is the web. Let's say they use your website information, they use your website applications to manage their patient records. Then you can say that I have made these many changes. Please go through the links. They will be more than happy to test it in advance to avoid any confusion after the product is rolled out. So that's what I see. I say the it's not a typical informal usability test. It's in between, but still I can tell you that it's an informal test because they are doing it not as a part of their responsibility, not part of their job. They're doing it as a to help their clients and also as a courtesy to you. Sometimes, not always. It may be included in your project charter with them. Then that becomes a formal usability test, although it's not conducted in the lab. But you can say that it's user initiated tests. For the lab testing, you do a lot of test automations. You have automated tools to navigate to the website and measure the timings, like how fast you can navigate across the links. If your For example, if your page does some calculation, and there are online ways, there are automated ways to initiate those calculations by automatically visiting the website, and then they do it and they measure how long it takes to do those things, and from there you can measure your effectiveness of the website. So we have completed the first part, that is plan a website. The next part of our discussion is how we can use tools for developing a website. So we have learned how to plan a website. Now we are learning the tools. A text editor is a software to create a plain ASCII text file. So, for example, notepads is a is an example for editing some text. So that serves as a text editor. An HTML editor is a text editor enhanced with special features that easily inserts HTML tags and their attributes. Many web designers use specific web development tools. Inserting and formatting text and inserting images or links in a web page using a web development tool is similar to creating a document in word processor, for example, such as Microsoft Word. I mean, for doing the HTML stuff, you don't use the Microsoft Word. This is just an example, but there are multiple tools in the market. Some integrated development in environment, for example, that can act as a website development tool, HTML development tool. A markup language is a coding system that uses tags to provide instructions about the appearance, structure, and formatting of a document. You can use an integrated development environment such as WebStorm, that is a powerful web development tool to create and manage complex, interactive, and animated web pages. It also includes website design, publishing, and management capabilities. This is the website for the WebStorm. You can always download the community version, or you can it's generally a licensed product, but you there is a it is free for students and teachers. So for you, it should be free. So if you go there, you download it. So it is being downloaded. You can see. I'm just walking you through the process. Now, once it is downloaded, you can click the executable file. It will show up. It will ask you for the permission. Uh, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? You can say yes. Then you have to go through the flow, like the wizards. You can do that, and then the program files. Maybe you can download it in your user specified area. So you can go to your users and your username, whatever your username is. You can create a new folder. No, not here. I'm sorry, it should not be here. So under this folder, you can create a new folder. That's my username. So in your for your username, you can create a folder. You can say WebStorm. So then you can choose this one there to install the code. So next, you can say create desktop shortcut. That's fine. And then you can do all the associations and you can add bin folder to the path. Now you can install it. So it will go through the installation process. Finally, you will reach here. It will take a while before you install it, before this step is completed. What I did, I fast forwarded. So I did not include all the times that when the file was downloaded and also it was installed. So you can click finish. So then you will get an instance of the WebStorm. So the WebStorm is about to be started. So you can confirm and then continue. I mean, you may not wish to share the data. You can say don't share. Now it comes start free 30-day trial or activate WebStorm. That's where you have to, I guess you have to enter your student credentials. Once you go to the WebStorm, I mean, it will ask you to log in JetBrains account. That will land you to this web page. There you have to create the account. Under the create account, use your school's email. So it will send you information to your school's email account. You will receive some email like this one. So you can confirm your account there. That will lead you to this page and you can write your information. Once you fill up all your information, you can click submit. You should see something like this. Now you have to apply for the JetBrains license. As a student, I can apply as a teacher. So these are the free licenses. You have to use your school's email address. Once you enter all the information, you can apply for free products. Now this will send you a verification email. So this is your verification email. Now you click this link to proceed. So once you click, you can see get started to use. So there are a lot of agreements there, and then it will give you the certificate for using. So you have to link your free license to a new or existing JetBrains account. You can click on there. So you have to click I accept. Now you can sign in using your existing account. So I have already created an account. That's my user ID, and you will also have an user ID and you can enter your password. Your password is there. So you have the JetBrains product pack for students, you get it. So you copy it and then go to the JetBrains website. I mean JetBrains IDE. You can activate your license. So you go there. So you can let's see. So this activation code is invalid. Let's say this is saying. Let us try to find out how we can solve this issue. Let's see if we can download the license. So this is the WebStorm we are using, so we can download it. So this is your basic WebStorm. Let's see how we can activate the existing license on your WebStorm. Let's go there. You can choose to activate with JetBrains account. So basically, I have clicked on activate with JetBrains account, and then I am activating the new license. So this is my license ID, which is shown here. So I can activate new license. It says there are no valid licenses. Let me see again. Activate with JetBrains account. It does show the license ID. So then we can just do the continue. So once you continue, you will come here. This is welcome to WebStorm. Now you can create a new project, and then you can choose whatever way you want to create the project. You can create an empty project. You can create a lot of JavaScript frameworks. Let's say HTML boilerplate. Let's see what is happening there. If we do that and do the create, then you will of course get a new project created like this. So you got this one. So you have an index.html file. And now if you want to, let's say this index file, if you want to run this, so there is a run button. So you can see the hello world. I mean, this is nothing. I mean, this is no content, but you can start your development effort from here. So this is a starting point for you. Okay. So here we wrote hello world, and then I mean there are a lot of other stuff out there. I mean, you can put the CSS, like for example, they have this simple CSS file. So I mean, you can start your development using this template and go from there. So this is a very shortcut demo for WebStorm. This is a very efficient IDE. The main important factor here is you can use your student ID to get a free access to that. The student ID from your school to get a free access to that. And that way you can use all the features for this particular IDE. So this is it for now for the software installation. So we have installed the WebStorm and just shown a hello world page there. Now, IDs, why do you want to use IDs? Because they offer more support than text editors, including hints, preview features, line numbers, and color coding. So in our case, the JetBrains, the WebStorm IDE with WebStorm IDE, you can author a web page and keep testing that. A web template is a pre-designed model web page that you can customize for fast website or web page creation or updating. So you can get a web template from the web. A website builder is a tool used to create professional looking websites by dragging and dropping predefined elements to their desired location on a page without coding. A content management system is a software that provides website creation and administrative tools that enable the management of web content development, including authoring, reviewing, editing, and publishing. Content providers working within a CMS, means content management system, use web templates, style sheets, and other administrative tools to efficiently create, manage, update, and upload web page content. The templates, style sheets, the CSS files I meant by the style sheets, and other frequently used content elements such as logo graphic are stored in a database called content repository. A database located on a server stores the structure, appearance, and content of a website. The application obtains this information from the database and then assembles it to provide the code for a browser to display. How to use tools? So next part is comparing website builders and content management systems. So you can have the examples like website builder, you can have the Google Sites, Wix, Weebly. Content management system is WordPress and Drupal. Popular uses, for example, small business, personal websites on online stores. You can use the content management system such as blogs, websites for large businesses or organizations, online stores. Collaboration, you have the few contributors, few or many contributors, you can have the content management system. For setup required, the website builder, you don't need any setup practically. It runs quickly. But for the content management system, if you host it by yourself, you need to manage and configure a web server and install software before designing a website. So for example, in our previous class, I have shown you how to install the XAMPP, XAMPP server. We used it only for the database. You can use it for the websites as well. In fact, the page that you develop, there is a way to deploy that page, I mean, using the WebStorm, whatever you have developed, you can deploy that WebStorm, I mean the page, the hello world, to the XAMPP Apache server and just view the page over the Apache server. Now the templates and themes, you can for a website builder, those are available from the provider. Now content management system, those are available from the provider or third-party designers, free or for purchase. Ease of use, I mean, enter for website builder, enter content in a visual editor. So you don't have to write the detail of the HTML tag. You can write it, just use simple visual editor to accomplish that. For customer support, you can for the website builder, you can get the paid subscriptions, provide tech support through chat or online forums. For content management, for self-hosted content management system, users rely on a community of enthusiasts and online resources. Website builders provide a simple drag and drop editor, pre-designed layout options, and business capabilities such as shopping cart, online payments, product catalogs for online stores, photo galleries, and widgets. A widget is an object such as a web application that is embedded in a web page and provides access to resources that are stored elsewhere. A plugin is a third-party program that extends the built-in functionality of an application or browser. Plugins for CMSs and capabilities such as displaying the slideshow, providing a contact form, or accepting online payments. WordPress is a popular, user-friendly, open source content management system used as blogging platform and tool for creating small to medium-sized website. Many large organizations use Drupal, another powerful open source content management system for developing their website. Wix and Weebly are popular website builders to create websites for individual and small businesses. To create website using website builder, sign up for the service on the provider's website. Select a template or design for your website. Choose your website's domain name. Set up SEO and other website options. Design the website and enter the website content using drag and drop interface and visual editor. So this is an example on how you can use a Wix website builder. I am asking you, like, you can I'm recommending you, rather not asking, recommending you to visit the website, I mean Wix site, and try to create a website of your own uh, by using these dragging and dropping features. Once you go to the wix.com, you will be directed, I mean, like, you have different areas, so you can say Wix. Let's say we can find wix.com. So if you do that, you can see create a website without limit. It provides you with online store, portfolio, blog, all the different areas. You can do the get started. You can you can do the sign up. For example, you can use your Google account to sign up. I'm using that. So if you do that, you will be taken to the Wix page. Now it is loading your dashboard, and then from there actually you can set up your site type. You can click update now. Let's say you are creating a technology company. If you do that, you can save it, so it will give you some kind of startup information. So let's say, um, I mean, this domain names, I mean, in your case you have to pay for the domain. So if you don't want to pay for the domain, you can design the site. So let's say we you have something like that, and then you can say my project. I mean, this is a template that they gave you for free. For me, it gave me. So you can change the title, whatever you want. Let's say I'm writing my company, and then you get this design. So you can see there are multiple options with the design. You can write, you can say my company and create the design like that. And you can say my project, whatever your projects are. And so this becomes your um, I mean your website. Like, you can preview it, and you can see that from nothing, I mean, you don't have to write any code, but you can essentially build a website of your own, and that way you can get started. But if you want to publish it, you have to pay for your domains, all the things. I mean, you can use a free web domain. So you can say wixsite.com, and then you can write your website. So but if you want to have a custom domain, then you have to uh, go through some payment process. But in this way, you can start up your own website. At least you can start your designing stuff. You can start designing your website and go from there. Okay. So that's about the Wix. To create a website using a WordPress, that is a different ID, different content management system. You can select and set up the theme in the dashboard. It's almost the same way, but you have to go through the steps. It will be self-explanatory, but these are the broad steps. You have to select and set up the theme, set up the website options, including website name, description, and format of links. You have to install the plugins for SEO, website maintenance, managing access, and other functions. Enter website content using a drag and drop interface and visual editor, or edit HTML code for page content. So similarly, you can go to wordpress.com and start your website development there as well. So if you go to wordpress.com, for example, So I'm leaving this site. You can see there, you can get started. I mean, just a simple get started. You can uh, continue with your custom, I mean, your Google account. That's what I did. You may do that too, or you can continue with an email as well. So I think I did that. Let's see if that worked. So it comes to your phone. I mean, you have to verify the account. So that will basically do the things. So I mean the domains, you may not use the domains at this point, because it may ask you to pay for some prices. So let's say if I go to start, and then you can do uh, test.com, test dot, let's say I'm writing my name and com. So there are different pay plan, but you have one for free. You see here, you can select that one. So you can go with this one, and then you can simply do the start with free, this thing. So it does all the things for you. So you can choose whatever you want. So you are getting started. Let's say my site, you write, and then you go there, you write, I mean, you have to, so you can write your social media profile. You don't have to, but there are free design templates, for example. So let's say you choose, depending on what you exactly want, you may choose anything. So let's say I'm choosing this one, but this is basically paid. So there should be some free designs as well. Let's see. So basically, you have to go to the checkout and pay for this service. So if you don't want to pay, you have to choose um, some free, I mean, open source configurations. So again, we go to WordPress.com, and then you can simply just like you can start creating your site. So here, for example, you can edit the site. I mean, you can do, I mean, you can write a blog post, you can search, you can start doing all the things. I mean, this is the design site. So this is a sample web page that it creates for you. So it is kind of a template. You can use this template or whatever you want. I mean, I believe you should be able to edit these images as well. You can put your own preferred image here. So exactly. So you can just do that, and then you can simply use your own preferred image. You can use a file, and just I mean, simply do you can simply upload the file and go from there. And then your site will look like this. So this is, you don't have to use it for, you don't have to publish it, but you can always use it for your design practice. Okay. So that's about the WordPress. Now, which is more user friendly, a website builder or a content management system, and why? So this is a discussion post. You can start discussion on your own, and we can have dialogues about it. Let's now start a new section, that is using HTML and XML. Now, these two formats, HTML and XML, they are very well discussed. This is a very well discussed topic across different resources with different contents. The HTML is used mostly for web, and XML is kind of data. So HTML emphasizes on how, like how does it look? It is more focused on look and feel, whereas XML is more focused on contents. What is there inside the content, the material, the data part. A web page uses codes or tags written in HTML to describe the content of information on a web page, right? You can create web pages for a website by writing HTML code manually or by using tools to assist you in this process. In many browsers, you can view the underlying HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code for a web page by right-clicking on the page and selecting the view source or view page source option. It's very simple, right? I mean, if you go to a, for example, let me go to a web page. Let's say this web page. This is the J WebStorm website. If you right click there and if you just click on view page source here, you will be able to see all the contents here. There is even more opportunity if you use the Chrome browser. If you go to these three dots and then you go to more tools and then you can go to developer tools, it will basically show all the elements. You can even identify the elements, the content, the console. If there is any error, you can see the sources and so on. You can identify the errors. You can debug it live. So those are the opportunities or the tools you have if you are a website developer and try to debug your pages. The HTML tags are written in lowercase characters and are enclosed within the angular brackets, this bracket. So you write HTML, you do it like this, HTML. Sorry for my pen, it's a little bit distorted. So this way, this is the HTML. Almost all HTML tags appear in pairs. So when you start the HTML, you write the page content, and at the end of the day, you have to write a forward slash and then HTML. That means that end of the tag. This is the closing tag. This is the start or beginning tag, and this is the closing tag. There can be exception, like if you want to insert some page breaks here and there. So if you write just like, sorry, if you write BR, you don't need to have a, uh, really you don't need to have a closing tag. Now, for most, mostly for all others, an opening tag contains the tag name followed by any attribute or additional information needed to completely specify the tag. Each attribute is followed by an equal sign, and the attribute's value in quotation mark. Closing tag begins with forward slash and followed by the tag name. There is no attribute in the closing tag. The structure of a web page coded in HTML contains the following elements. So the first line of the code contains the document type, this one. The next line, so document type is HTML. So the next line of code in a web page is always an HTML tag to indicate that the content is written using HTML. This is the opening HTML tag. The file ends with corresponding closing HTML tag slash HTML tag. The head section located between the head and the head, I mean closing head tags, includes tags for the titles of the web page that appears in the browser tab displaying this web page. Let's see if we have this one. For example, this the one I downloaded using the WebStorm. So if you go to the index.html, you see here we started with doc type HTML. Then you have some HTML. These are the attributes, like we included the class, the CSS class, the cascaded tile style sheet classes. Now the head contains the title of the page, so you should see somewhere the title. So where is that? Is the meta name title? Title is blank. So let's say I write there my website. Okay, this is the title, and then the body contains a paragraph tag and followed by a simple JavaScript. We included the JavaScript. So if I want to display it, let's see. So you have on the title page, you see my website as the title. Let me separate it out, and you can see here. This is what appears on the title page, my website. And I mean, these are all important. I mean, this is the hello world content. This is the content. So if you look at the page again, I included this title here. I wrote my website. That's how it is reflected there. And then you have all the body here, and that was also reflected on the main window of the website. Now the body section, that's what we were talking about. The body section located between the body and end of the body tags contains the content of the web page marked up with HTML tag. When tags enclose several lines of content, you might indent content between the opening and closing tags so that they are aligned. So what I wanted to say, it's for better visibility, you know. So here, for example, in this particular page, in this particular file, HTML file, what I did is that there's a head tag and the ending head tag. I mean, we have some alignment and formatting, so it can be read in a it is readily visible and you can read it pretty easily. So that's for maintenance purposes. The body area is marked with comments to indicate where the page content begins and ends. Comments look similar to HTML tags, except that there may be an exclamation point and two dashes. So let's see, you can easily include a comment here. Line number 27, you can see here that there is a comment enclosed here. So this is the comment you can see here. So it starts with the exclamatory sign, I mean the angular bracket exclamatory sign ended by double dashes and angular bracket. Unformatted text in a website is not very useful or appealing. You need to organize and format to convey the information you desire by including elements like headings, paragraphs, and line breaks. In our website, for example, the hello world, it's not very comprehensive, but you can try those. Like you can say that you can say h1 as the header. You can say this is the header of my site. Now you can see that there is a paragraph section, so which is good. And now if you want to display it, if you want to take a look at it, preview, so you can see that there is a header. I mean, this is emphasized. So here, so header, this is a different tag, and you can see the header of the page, and then you can see all the information beneath. The headings indicate the different sections of web page. HTML supports 6 levels of headings. H1 tag displays text in the largest font size. That's what we typed. Then H6 displays the text in the smallest font size. In addition to title and headings, you need to identify paragraphs. So we have used that P tags. Now you can have a breaking tag, BR tag, when you want to break a line or no white space before or after it. Breaking type tag, as I said before, this one does not have a corresponding closing tag. So typical usage can be like you write something in the paragraph, then you can say that um, now you can say, let us say, in the paragraph you want to break the line, so you do break, and then you say, in this page we are promoting our product. I mean, some random text. So if you look at it, the website, you will see that there is a break after this one because we put the BR tag, and then we started writing regular contents. Okay. You should choose a short and descriptive file name of the web page. A good practice is to use lowercase letters, numbers, and underscores in web page file names. You should avoid using special characters and spaces in the web page names because they may not be very friendly when you do the browsing across different browsers. The file extension of web page file is usually HTML. The .html file extension indicates to the browser that the file stores HTML code. The file name containing the content of a website homepage is often named as index.html. That's what I did there in my, I mean, the site that I was demoing. A link or hyperlink can be a text or an image in a web page that you can click to navigate to another web page, download a file, or perform another action such as sending an email message. Web page is Web pages are always stored in as separate file, and hypertext reference to the files appear in the HTML code using the A anchor tag. So the anchor tags href hypertext reference attribute refers to the location of the file of the web page that you want to view or download. As for example, you can write a href, I mean the link, the anchor tag, and write the reference to the web page. Maybe you should put https, and then you are going to google.com. I mean, just I'm saying go to Google, and then if I do that, then it is a reference to go to Google. If I click on that, I am reaching at the Google search engine. Very simple example. The href attributes value references a resource using either relative reference or an absolute reference. Now, we used a remote URL, but the relative references identify the location of the resources in the current website. So it can be like this one. Let's say we create another web page. So we can do it here. New. Let's say I'm doing a web page, HTML file, and new HTML file. I can say test. So this is my test HTML. So this is a sample title. This is a test file. So I can write the title as test, capitalized, all capital. So this is the web page, and now if I want to refer it from the index.html, I could do it in this way. So let's put a break here, and then sorry, what did I do? It should be break. So I'm putting it here. I am doing break, and then I can do uh, navigate to. and then we can do href, sorry, a href equals. Now it is at the same level as index file, so we can say um, just test.html, and we can say navigate to test file, test site. So if we now display it, it should look like this one. Navigate to test site. As we click this, it will go to the test HTML, the one we put it there. So it is the relative path. So you can notice that I put nothing here, but what happens, let's say I create a folder. Uh, let's say I'm creating a folder here. No, not the file. I want to create a new folder. How do you do that? Directory. That is called the folder. So there you can say test directory. So under the test, let us open an HTML file. Let us say test2, and we write here second, or we can say um, just a moment. I can write here like lab tests. So all the websites with the lab tests are here. So you can include lab tests, etc. Now from the HTML file, index file, you can also refer this one. You can say um, this way, and then you can break the line so that there is a separation between these two lines. And then in this case, you have to write test slash say test2. So you can notice that if I type a file name that does not exist, then it is producing some warning. You see, it says that cannot resolve. So it is, that is the usefulness of your uh, development tool, the IDE, integrated development tool, that it gives you, it helps you down the road. So if you do that, and then if you navigate to the test site, you can see here lab tests are here. So we can do the navigation based on relative path or absolute path. The absolute path, when you use the absolute path, your URL starts with the project URL, in this case untitled. Say you are doing that, and then um, untitled, and then do the slash here. Hopefully this will, oh, it cannot resolve. So so in this case, basically this is your absolute path because you included the slash. So this is your root path to this site. Now if you do that, you will still go to the test site. Okay, so after the local host, you have this distribution, this navigation here. Unordered list display collection of items in a list format with each item on the item preceded by the bullet symbol. Ordered list by default precede each list item with a number. The UL tag, this one, UL ended by this tag, surround list items for an unordered list and precede each list item with a bullet. So you can see, we can make an attempt to do that. So let's say we have an unordered list here. So we can do in this way. Let's break the line, and then we can do UL, that is unordered link, unordered list, then put a star, you write item 1, and another star, item 2. So if you now uh, view this page, it looks like that's not work, that did not work. So you have to have some bullet points in between. You can try it in this way. You can just write li item 1. Let's get rid of this item 1 from here. Okay, so now if we display it, you will see this ordered list, unordered list. But if you want to make it, so we can write something unordered list. Then if you want to write up an ordered list, it can be little different. Oops. So you can say ordered list. So you can write OL ended by OL. Now if you display it, see 1 and 2. So that's the difference. That's the way you can do unordered list and ordered list. The image tag specifies the information about an image to display on a website. You should include alternative text that describes the image so that visitors to your page who are visually impaired, that's what we talked about, this is an accessibility requirement, may be able to view the images on a page. Choose images which appropriate with appropriate dimensions for the web page and relatively small file sizes. Large images can take a long time to load, which may impact the performance of your website. Adding multimedia contents make your website more engaging to the visitors. You can embed a video. When adding an audio or video to a site, many developers include controls to adjust or mute the volume so that you can turn on off the sound if desired. When you embed items on a website, you place a copy of an object created in a source file into a destination file so that one-way connection to the source program becomes part of the destination file. Before HTML5 and in older browsers, the only way to play audio video on a website was to use a plugin. HTML file introduced the audio tag to play audio files and video tag to play video files. You can specify the audio or video file to play using the source tag. You have options to embed videos on your website. For that, actually, there are content management system, the video content management system. They support embedding the videos as iframe. For example, YouTube, let's say uh, on the YouTube, let's go to the YouTube. So I go to youtube.com and let's say I'm going to my website here. So here, let's choose a link here. Let's choose a file here. So here I can create the share and then embed. Click, click on the embed and then I can copy this one. And then after copying, I can go to my website and just paste the content. So the iframe is being pasted here. So you can see it starts with iframe, ends with an iframe here. Now, if you now preview the website, it should look like this one. So you see the video is embedded. You can play the video. You can mute the sound. You can do whatever you can do on YouTube. You can do it from here. So this is a great like resource, right? This table summarizes the attributes for audio and video tags. So autoplay, you should include this attribute to play the audio or video automatically. Controls include this attribute to display audio or video controls like play, pause, volume, etc. Width of the video player in pixel. Height is the height of the video player in pixel. Now comes the cascading style sheet. A new, this is completely a new section. A cascading style sheet or CSS uses the rules to standardize the appearance of web page content by defining styles for elements such as font, margins, positioning, background colors, and more. Web designers store CSS specifications that will be applied to multiple web pages in a website in a separate document called style sheet. A style is a group of formatting properties such as bold, italic, font type, font size, or font color applied as a group to select text. When you use CSS, you create a style sheet containing style rules. The style rules are specifications that define one or more than one formatting properties and their corresponding values like the declarations for specific HTML tags. Style rules are applied in cascading order based on priority. The first priority is for specifications the author sets in the form of inline styles, and the second priority includes internal and external style sheets. The lowest priority is the default styles specified by the browser. Web design programs provide CSS tools that you can use to create and edit style sheets and link style sheets to your pages. Web templates have style sheets already linked. You can also create style sheets using CSS editor software. While HTML helps to define the placement of items on the web page, your web page will look dull if you do not change the fonts, font size, and font styles, colors, backgrounds, borders, and other styles. CSS makes it easier to specify the appearance of each tag in the same web page or same website. Typically, your CSS files look like this. This is a style sheet, style.css. They look like this. You have HTML. This is the color. You can write normal color as well. You can say red, for example. If you do that, and then if you display the page, it may look like the following. Go to the HTML file here, and then if you simply, so you can see your font colors are changed, it is red. So that is the simple way, I mean, one of the ways, but nobody uses red, right? I mean, that's too like choicy. So you should use a neutral color like black, that should be fine. You can code styles that apply to all tags of one type on the web pages as embedded styles within the style sheet. Um, Now you can use the inline style when you use, let's say you have a tag here, for instance, you have one paragraph here, you can say uh, font, sorry, you can use multiple structures around the paragraph, giving you some let's say we want to use a structure like this. We want to use a font, uh, the text align right. I mean, this is the inline style example. You are just putting the style along with the tag. If you do that, you will see that it should be rightly aligned. So if you click on that, you see here there is a rightly aligned text here. So that's the inline style example. So let's do one thing. Let's edit that redness. We can do black. Sorry. Now you may want your paragraph to be of certain style, you know. So you can define your paragraph can be like this one. So let's use that, and now let's display the website. So you can see that the paragraphs become little different because we applied some style there, some uniform style. Okay, so that's example of how you can use style sheet to alter your like the styles. So paragraph may be blue with uppercase. We do not want uppercase essentially. We can just not put anything there. And if I go to HTML, now index HTML, and then try to execute this one, it will look like this, the blue color, but the other styles are in place. A style declaration contains the style named followed by a colon, followed by the value for the style. If more than one style is used, each style is separated with a semicolon. If you look at the file, you see that for the inline styling, so where is that? It is, so here, if you look at the inline styling, where did I put it? This one. So you have the style and you put the colon, and then further style you put another statement here. So that's pretty much the way we use the styling. You can say this one, I mean semicolon, and you say color equals, say, I'm writing here green. I'm just putting a green color. Now if so I should be using the colon, not equals. So colon, and then I'm using green. Maybe it does not like the single quotes. So yeah, let's try it. So you will see that your, well, I mean, it's not green. Yeah, it's green because this is the one I've used. So that's how you can change the styles. A font is a set of letters, numbers, and symbols that all have the same style and appearance. A font family is a group related fonts. By using a definite font family, like you are seeing in the picture to your right hand side, my mouse is not working properly. That's why I cannot move it very fast. Here, font family is a group of related fonts. By using a font family, the browser will choose a font installed on the computer or device that most closely matches the specified font family. Values for the font family style include serif, sans serif, monospace, and so on. Most browsers recognize common color names such as red, just as we were passing along. You can use the RGB function to specify colors by providing their red, green, and blue components. You can use the hexadecimal color value as well. The color value is preceded by a hash sign. We are now starting a new area, that is secure IT. Now it is related to the security. HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, is a protocol that is used to make a secure connection to a computer identified by HTTPS in the URL, and often used by banks and retail stores, payment processing. Today, HTTPS used universally. Even if you go to google.com, the search engine, it will be HTTPS. HTTPS basically encrypts the entire communication, entire transaction. TLS can encrypt communications such as between your website and a browser accessing the website. TLS has many other uses and is referred to by its predecessor, Secure Socket Layer. So there are two flavors of SSL. One is SSL and TLS. TLS is the most up-to-date encryption process. A digital certificate is a technology used to verify users' identity by using a digital key that has been signed by a trusted third party. Now, the digital certificates are used by online providers called certificate authorities. A secure website is indicated by the HTTPS protocol in the URL shown in the browser's website address bar. Many browsers only access websites that uses HTTPS and will alert you if a website cannot be verified. There are additional techniques you can use to ensure your website safety. Number one is use plugins strategically. Plugins that enhance your website's UX and functionality also can open website to security flaws. You need to ensure as a developer that any plugins you use are secure and that are used only when necessary. The secure passwords are another important thing. The passwords that you use to manage your website content should be kept secure and distributed only to those who need them. You can install a web firewall that monitors the HTTP traffic to and from your web service and can alert you to any unusual activities. It can be instructed to block malicious requests for data or information automatically, thereby preventing hackers from accessing the underlying data in your website. There is a knowledge check activity. Answer the question like which protocol is used to make a secure connection to a computer. So HTTPS, SSL, firewall, plugins. What is the answer? So your answer should be HTTPS, right? That's what we learned just now. HTTPS is a protocol like HTTP. HTTPS is a protocol that is used to make secure connection. Now SSL versus TLS, that is the much more fine-grained protocol that is used to encrypt the data. Now we are switching to a new topic called publishing a website. The server on which your website is located will have an internet protocol address, IP address, which is unique number that identifies every computer on the internet. You need to select a domain name for your website so that visitors can locate your websites easily. A domain name is the portion of a URL or email address that identifies one or more IP addresses. One domain name can be associated with many IP addresses. I think in the networks section, we did mention about different tools for domain name lookup. You can purchase a domain name for a domain registrar from a domain registrar. So like just like in the Wix page or the other tools, we could we got an option to buy our own domain name. Several factors are important to consider when selecting a web host. If the web host provides storage on a server with a solid state drive, the web performance may be faster compared to if they have some legacy hard drive, the magnetic drive. Bandwidth is the term commonly used to describe the capacity of communication channel. If you expect lots of traffic on your website, you might want to opt for a plan that offers unlimited bandwidth. Uptime is a measure of web host's reliability. It could be costly to you if your website goes down due to an issue with your hosting provider. Now, we develop the websites, the application, web applications on our server, and then we push it to the remote server for publication. So FTP, file transfer protocol, is an application you can use to upload the files from a local computer to a remote web server. FTP specifies rules for transferring files from one computer to another on the internet. Many integrated development environments IDEs also include built-in FTP capabilities so that you can publish your website to a web server without having to use a separate application. Now comes the web analytics. This involves collection, measurement and evaluation of data, and also to report your the data related to your website. Website owners use analytics data to understand who their visitors are, where they are coming from, and how they interact with the website. Google Analytics is a powerful free tool for capturing and reporting website analytics data. You can use analytics tool to count number of visitors to your website. You can distinguish between return and unique visitors with cookies, IP addresses, and other data. You can determine users' activities on your website by tracking their click path or click stream. You can receive information about a user's time spent on a page. The impressions are the number of times an ad is visible to users on a web page. An ad's click-through rate is the number of times users click the ad to go to the sponsor's website. The computer that you use to edit your website is called your local computer, the local server. To transfer the files from your local computer to a remote web server, you will need to connect to the remote web server using an FTP client. Sometimes you may require to use a secure file transfer protocol. You can use SFTP, that is secure FTP, or SCP. So depending on what are the protocols that you are using, the other party supports. You can also need an account on a web server in order to publish a website. When you have finished transferring the files from your local device to a web server, you can view the web server on any device connected to the internet by typing the absolute web address of the website's homepage in the address bar of a browser. Next comes the ethics and issues. The Web Accessibility Initiative consists of groups of users and developers who create guidelines about usage, tools, and education regarding web accessibility. Web Accessibility Initiative was established by W3C. The Web Accessibility Initiative develops guidelines to ensure all website visitors can access content on web page, including the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. WCAG, that is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, include 4 principles of accessibility regarding information and user interfaces. Those are um, web development tools often include accessibility checkers that point out potential issues such as lack of alternative text. So this is one of the important thing. Um, or inconsistent navigation. You can also purchase external tools that provide even more insight into the accessibility of your website. In addition, you should employ user testing that focuses on accessibility concerns that such as accessibility. Finally, a case study. So you are the marketing manager of a large hotel chain that has recently purchased a local hotel that filed for bankruptcy. The CEO has asked you to review the current website and determine what actions needs to be taken to ensure its updated property and that the website meets current accessibility standard. The question is, after reading the case study on the previous slide, you can answer, how will you ensure the website meets required accessibility standard? So website is deemed accessible if everyone can view it, comprehend it, navigate it, and engage with it. Number two, large organization can use it. Number three, only individual with disabilities can use it. And number four, owner has set a password for requesting access. Guess which one is the correct one? So when we talk about the web, I mean the number A should be the absolutely right, right? Because everyone should be able to view any web page, website. They should be able to comprehend it, navigate it, and engage with it. So for the self-assessment, you can attempt these questions. You can, I mean, using what you learned in this module, how would you create a target audience profile for this class using demographic and psychographic characteristics? Now, number two, after reviewing the material in this module, which tool for web development would you be most interested in using? How would you use that tool? Number three, have you ever published a website? If you have done that, explain what you created. If not, what type of website would you like to publish and why? So with that, we completed our web development. If you have any questions, leave a comment or reach out to me. Thank you for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.